may begin.
Thank you, Madam Chair and colleagues. Good morning. I'm pleased to present ACA 8 on behalf of Speaker Rivas, Pro Tem McGuire, and dozens of co-authors, both here in the Assembly and in the Senate. But make no mistake, I'm not happy to be here. One of the reasons was alluded to, which I'm a new dad. My baby boy turned 1 month old today, and I'd rather be hanging out with him and his mom. But ACA 8 and its companion bills are the culmination of a fight that we don't want. And it's a fight that we didn't choose. But with our democracy on the line, we cannot run away from this fight. ACA 8 is before you today because President Trump and Republicans in Texas and other states across the country are attempting to redraw congressional districts mid-decade in an effort to rig the upcoming election. Americans and Californians deserve better, and ACA 8 is our response to this undemocratic and un-American power grab. Known as the Election Rigging Response Act, ACA 8 would allow for the temporary use of voter-approved congressional district boundaries contained in AB 604. First and foremost, California voters will have the final say on whether or not these new district boundaries get used or not. Should ACA 8 and its companion bills pass, voters will have their say in a special election on November 4th, 2025. Because here in California, unlike in Texas and other Republican-led states, we respect the will of the voters. Second, these maps would be used through the 2030 congressional term if and only if Texas or another state enacts a partisan gerrymander of its own congressional districts before the 2030 census. This trigger provision is carefully crafted to ensure that a mid-decade redistricting required by federal court order does not result in California changing the maps. It is about the partisan gerrymandering that President Trump has demanded of his party. After the 2030 census, ACA 8 returns all congressional district line drawing powers back to the Citizen Redistricting Commission. It is important to note that nothing in this bill package impacts the role of the Citizens Redistricting Commission in drawing the Assembly, the Senate, or the Board of Equalization boundaries. Third, ACA 8 calls on Congress to pass legislation and propose a constitutional amendment to the U.S. Constitution to require the use of fair, independent, and nonpartisan redistricting nationwide. I call this the put up or shut up clause. I don't want to hear from you if you support political gerrymandering in Republican states, but not Democrat states, and vice versa. We believe in nonpartisan redistricting for California and for every state in the country. The bottom line is that ACA 8 sends a strong message to other states that they cannot play by different rules when it comes to redistricting. And it upholds California's values by neutralizing partisan gerrymandering by other states, all while giving California voters the final say on the matter. This situation is an emergency, and California is responding by empowering our voters with transparency, with respect for our independent commission, but with a will to act. I respectfully request an aye vote on ACA 8, and I'm joined today by Annie Chow with the California Teachers Association and Danny Curtin with the California State Council of Carpenters.
You